We welcome you to a very special afternoon from Fenway Park. Autism Awareness Day from Fenway. It is Game 3 of the 3-game series between the Red Sox and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo, as always, joined by Jerry Remy. Welcome to Red Sox baseball. Well, the Red Sox last night with a very good victory and some guys coming up big as part of our Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Mike Napoli with a big night.
Well, you never know what's going to turn a team around or a particular player around offensively, but Mike Napoli has certainly done that. And maybe it was the conversation he had with Dustin Pedroia on the way back from Seattle looking at video. But you see what he's done over the last 5 games. The .389 batting average, 4 home runs, and 6 RBIs. Now, previous to that, in 33 games, only 3 home runs and 11 RBIs. So things have turned around for him. And when you looked at the ball game last night, a couple of home runs, one on an inside fastball, inside breaking ball. And when you look at this Red Sox team, they are really going to depend on home runs, I think, as the year goes on. They've got plenty of them in the Red Sox lineup. Now, maybe Napoli is the guy to get them started in that department because he's going to play a major role in that.
Trying to keep it going today, as will the Red Sox starting pitcher, Wade Miley, on the mound today for Boston. He's been very good lately. Wins against Oakland and Texas in his last 2. We're back with the first pitch from Fenway right after this. Dunkin' Donuts by Toyota.com. By DraftKings, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox. Nissan gets a Nissan's ride of your life for exciting performance and bonus cash. Shop ChooseNissan.com. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at Southwest.com. A beautiful day in Boston today on this Memorial Day weekend. Tons of boats out there today and tons of fans inside Fenway Park on this Autism Awareness Day from Fenway as the Red Sox take on the Angels. Red Sox have already taken the field, so let's check out the visiting Angels lineup on Junior Announcer Day from Fenway.
Thanks, Mr. Orsillo. My name is Elizabeth, and I'm from Gardner, Mass. Here's today's Angels lineup. At shortstop, Eric Ibar. In center field, Mike Trout. At first base, Albert Pujols. In right field, Cole Calhoun. At third base, David Freese. The catcher, Chris Iannetta. The DH, CJ Crone. In left field, Matt Joyce. At second base, Taylor Featherston.
Nice job, Elizabeth, as on the mound today for the Red Sox. Wade Miley is the Red Sox starting pitcher, presented by your local New England Audi dealers. Now for Miley, his 9th start of the year, 3-4 with a 5.10 earned run average, 29 strikeouts, 17 walks, and opponents hitting at .267 against the Red Sox left-hander. Mentioned wins each of the last 2 times out, Oakland and Texas, and last time out against the Rangers. 7 innings, giving up only 2 runs. He struck out 7 along the way.
The Red Sox defense is 5th in the American League with 24 errors on the season. Brock Holt will be at third base. Xander Bogaerts the shortstop. Dustin Pedroia at second. Mike Napoli the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Rivera, Smokey Betts, and Rusney Castillo. Sandy Leon doing the catching for Miley.
The umpiring crew today, John Hirschbeck, the crew chief, will be calling the balls and strikes. John Tempane at first base. Sam Holbrook at second base. And James Hoy, the umpire, at third. Wade Miley ready to work here against Eric Ibar, leading it off for the Angels. Rubber game of this 3-game series, as the Angels took game 1 on Friday. Red Sox win last night's game, and here we go in game 3. First pitch swinging is Ibar, but it's right at Ramirez for the first out of the ball game. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas tardes, amigos.
One down here in the first inning, as the conditions perfect today. 80 degrees. Wind direction out to right at 14 miles per hour. And the forecast for more of the same. And right now, nothing but blue skies above Fenway Park. One down in the first inning, and Mike Trout will take a look at strike 1. Trout up over 300 heading into today's game at 302. 11 homers and 24 runs batted in. On the ground to third, Brock Holt's got it. Trout is out number 2 of the first inning.
Wade Miley coming off 2 very strong starts against Oakland and last time against Texas. To 7 innings, 7 strikeouts, only 2 earned runs. Making his first career appearance against the Angels. You see the breakdown on his pitches. Fastball 57%, 27% curveballs and sliders, and 16% changeups.
2 down for Albert Pujols. 235 with 8 homers and 16 runs batted in. It is 8th home run of the year in game 1 of the series on Friday. He has 3 home runs in his last 8 games.
Red Sox on the left side of the infield, really pinching him toward the third base shortstop side.
We're at the bottom of the zone there for strike 1. He's had a .311 average against Boston in his career. And jumps ahead here, 3-1. Sits safely in 18 of his last 23 games, with Cole Calhoun waiting on deck. Pujols hits it high in the air to center field. Mookie Betts looking up into that high sky, battling the sun, but makes the catch. A 1-2-3 first for Wade Miley. The Red Sox are coming up from Fenway. Sox coming up here, and the Angels have Hector Santiago on the mound, dealing here with Dustin Pedroia to get it started. And the first pitch from Santiago. Angels starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. Makes his 9th start, 3-2 with a 2.25 earned run average. This is downstairs and falls behind here 2-0. Last time out, a victory at Toronto as part of this lengthy trip for the Angels. 7 innings, giving up 2 runs. Only 1 was earned.
He's been pitching very well for the Angels. A lot of no decisions in his starts, but that win last time out, as you mentioned, Don, 0-2 in his career against the Red Sox.
Pedroia fouling it back and finding a new home in the lineup right now for the Red Sox, leading off as he did last night. First time since May 22nd of 2014 against Toronto, when last night he led off. Sits safely now in 19 of his last 21 games against the Angels, and .320 during that time against Los Angeles. Had a hit last night, going 1 for 5. And a swing and a miss, striking out at a pitch up and away. Junior Announcer Day at Fenway. Let's get the Sox lineup from Joseph Gallo III. It's brought to you by New England Chevy dealers.
Thanks, Mr. Russell. My name is Joseph. I'm from Millis, Mass. Here's today's Red Sox lineup. Leading off at second base, Dustin Pedroia. In center field, Mookie Betts. In left field, Hanley Ramirez. To DH, Big Poppy David Ortiz. At shortstop, Xander Bogaerts. At first base, Mike Napoli. In right field, Rusney Castillo. At third, Brock Holt. And the catcher, Sandy Leone.
Nice job, Joseph, as with 1 out, Mookie Betts batting here. And jumping on the 2-0 pitch, can't get it. Fastball by him, and it's 2-1.
His fastball has been between 89 and 92 miles an hour so far for Santiago.
Now Mookie Betts sliding into that 2 spot and sliding into the game last night after Shane Victorino left with more left calf problems. And today the news that Shane Victorino is placed on the disabled list, and the Red Sox call up Jeff Bianchi from the Paw Sox. Fly ball to right, sending Cole Calhoun back pedaling to make the catch shy of the track. 2 down.
The Angels defense is brought to you by DraftKings. They are 7th in the league with 25 errors on the season. David Freese will be at third base. Eric Ibar, the shortstop. Taylor Featherston at second. And Albert Pujols, the first baseman. Left to right, Matt Joyce, Mike Trout, and Cole Calhoun. Chris Iannetta doing the catching for Santiago.
Well, the roster move we just spoke of called up, as we saw a lot of Jeff Bianchi during spring training, but he's a guy that can play all over in the infield. Unfortunately for Shane Victorino, back to the DL again. Jerry, it's really been very frustrating for Shane Victorino.
Yeah, it just wears you down, you know, as a player. You rehab, you try to come back, you have some success when you do come back, and you find yourself back on the DL. It's just wearing.
Red Sox with other news as well today. A guy that we saw earlier in the year coming out of the bullpen, Anthony Vivaro, the right-handed pitcher, had been designated for assignment by the Red Sox and was taken by the Cubs back on May 3rd, has been returned due to a medical condition on the date of his outright assignment to the Cubs. Red Sox were not knowing of that situation at the time. Both clubs agreed it would be appropriate for Vivaro to return to the Red Sox, and he has, and will go on the disabled list for the Red Sox as he is now under the club's control once again, and apparently he's going to have surgery coming up as well. So kind of an interesting situation there, but a member of the Red Sox again, at least a paper move if nothing else on the DL. So 2 down, and Hanley Ramirez waiting on a 2-2 pitch. He'll back out. Now the surgery for Vivaro, to be more specific, he'll undergo surgery to repair his flexor tendon this week. Red Sox after the ball game today will be traveling to Minnesota, play day baseball against the Twins tomorrow, and begin this 7-game trip coming up. 3 with Minnesota, 4 with Texas. Swing and a miss for Hanley Ramirez. A 1-2-3 first for Santiago. No score from Fenway after 1. Los Angeles and Boston scoreless as we enter the 2nd inning, and Cole Calhoun to lead it off. David Freese, Chris Iannetta featured here in the 2nd inning, and first pitch swinging is Calhoun. Coming in, Hanley Ramirez, below the cap high, handles out number 1.
They got a couple of pitches in this game. They like to get after it, don't they?
Yes.
Wade Miley wastes no time. Santiago wastes no time.
1 down, and brings up David Freese, third baseman, former St. Louis Cardinal, former World Series MVP. As he'll take strike 1. Playing third base now for the Angels. And takes it the other way. Castillo coming in. A liner stays up for him. And there are 2 down here in the 2nd inning as Miley has retired the first 5 in the game. It's time now to vote for your Red Sox All-Stars. Support your favorite Red Sox All-Stars by going on redsox.com today to vote. 2 down here in the 2nd inning. Brings up Rhode Island's own Chris Iannetta. Chris born in Providence. And of course with the Colorado Rockies, first in the majors. Got his 2nd home run of the season here on Friday night in game 1 of the series. First career home run at Fenway, but a .317 average in 19 career games against the Red Sox. Quickly down here, 0-2.
One of 2 players in the lineup today that have faced Miley. Freese 3 for 5 against Miley, now 3 for 6, and Iannetta 3 for 5.
Close pitch framed by Leon. Extra look there for John Hirschbeck, but he wasn't biting. I mentioned the home run Friday is 2nd of the year. A 3-run shot for Chris Iannetta. Open things up here for the Angels against the Red Sox. That was off Matt Barnes, one of 2 that Barnes would give up on Friday. This one carved straight back and foul. Iannetta in the last 5 games heating it up. .444 with 2 homers, 7 runs batted in. Popped up. coming from everywhere, but it is Pedroia who takes charge and makes the catch to end the inning. Good start for Wade Miley. We're inning and a half from the Fens without a score. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Bottom of the second inning, David Ortiz to lead it off against Hector Santiago in a 1-2-3 first inning. 2 strikeouts in the first. He'll deal with Ortiz, Bogaerts, and Napoli here in the second inning. Broken back, grounded to first, picked on the backhand by Pujols. Took a look to see where the bat ended up and then tags the bag. Plenty of time to do so as David Ortiz shattering that bat, 1 down.
Well, David Ortiz last night cracking a bat over his knee after an at-bat with the bases loaded. That time cracking it on contact. Just splinters. David looking up in the air, didn't know where the ball was. The ball was on the ground going to Pujols. So 1 down here in the second inning brings up Xander Bogaerts. Xander checks in, hitting at .270. 2 homers and 15 runs batted in. Bogaerts with a big hit in last night's game. Only 1 for 4 with a couple of runs driven in. 6-game hitting streak now for Xander, coming in at .333. Fouls it straight back, and we're talking about his hit last night, driving in 2 runs for Xander, one of the bigger plays of the game for the Red Sox.
That was very nice hitting there, too, because, they were set up that way. They wanted to go away. And Bogaerts staying right with that pitch that was in the outside part of the plate, taking it to the opposite field.
I hesitate to mention this, especially now where he's got 2 strikes on him, and he's 2-2. But he's only struck out 3 times in his last 56 plate appearances. Second best ratio, trailing only Tampa Bay's James Loney. Now, if he strikes out, it's going to be my fault, right?
Yep.
Fouls back, and it's 2-2 still.
It's always our fault.
Yes.
No matter what happens, it's our fault.
But I think it's worth mentioning because he's hard to strike out.
No, and that's one of the reasons you see the average climb to the 270 mark. Putting the bat on the baseball, good things happen.
25th pitch for Santiago, and it's fouled back again. You'll see his 7th pitch in the at bat. Ooh, John Carter with a very weak effort. And they almost got hit in the head on the ricochet.
Wow. That was not good.
2-2 is line into left field. A base hit for Bogaerts just over the outstretched glove of Eric Ibar. First base runner for either side as we check in with Garen.
Hey, thanks, Don. Not one, but 2 home runs last night. I talked to Mike Napoli earlier today. He told me he's been frustrated. He said he feels good, he's healthy, and he's been working really hard. So it's been frustrating that he hasn't been seeing those results. He also told me that he's been through this before in his career, and he knew he'd get out of it. When I asked him if it was a little bit sweeter to get those 2 home runs against his former team, he said, oh, yes. Jerry, did you experience that when you played a former team?
Did you experience that when you played your former team? I know you didn't hit a home run against your former team and run around the bases. And,
no, but I'll tell you, you never forget that. And especially the first time you play against your former ball club. I mean, you want to do so well, especially when they trade you. And I remember meeting the Angels when we went out there as a member of the Red Sox, and I felt really good about it. But, as time goes on,
Napoli drives this to deep center field. Mike Trout going back. Does it have enough? Yes, it does. And then some. A 2-run home run for Napoli. Blaster straightaway center field, and the Sox are on top 2-0.
Yeah, as time goes on, Napoli hits another home run.
Well, right now he is very much in the zone.
Yes, he is. And you see the location of that pitch out over the plate in Napoli to straightaway center field. Well, we didn't jinx him in the open anyway, Don.
So 2-0. Good start for the Red Sox. Continued good hitting for Napoli, and now Rusney Castillo. I thought you were going to tell us a story about how you hit a home run in your first at bat against the Angels and then Cadillac'd it around. Took forever to get around the bases. Yelling into the dugout of the Angels as he came around.
No, that wasn't my style.
No.
Hitting home runs or yelling into the dugout. But it always is strange playing against your former ball club. You still have some friends there, and it's a weird feeling.
Sprayed foul off to the right out of play. This was a blast to center.
It certainly is.
18th career home run against his old team, the Angels. And 47 games between his time in Texas and Boston against the Angels. To Hopper out to Ibar at shortstop. Rusney Castillo is out number 2. Alltown, New England's premier convenience retailer, is committed to supporting the communities they serve. For every home run the Red Sox hit the rest of the year, Alltown will donate $500 to Children's Hospital Boston. Visit alltown.com for a location near you. Mike Napoli's 2-run home run. The difference in the game, and Brock Holt now coming up with 2 down in the Boston second inning. 295 with a home run. 11 runs batted in for Brock. That's a strike one at the top of the zone. That is the 6th home run given up by Santiago. Now in his 9th start and in 49 innings. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach. 0-2 is flipped in the air to left, sending Joyce back a step or 2, and that'll wrap up the second. A 2-run home run from Mike Napoli, his 8th of the year. Red Sox lead it 2-0. 2-0 as he gauges the sun right now from his spot at first base. Wade Miley's got a lead, and he has retired the first 6 Angels that he's faced in the game. C.J. Cron, the DH, leading it off and taking ball 2, 2-0. Cron hitting at 200 with home run, 6 RBIs, and this one to third on a hop as Holt. A little stutter step and a throw for the first out of the 3rd inning. Did you miss today's new episode of NESN Clubhouse? Catch it again tonight following our post-game coverage. Hanley Ramirez explains his hitting style to D'Angelo Ortiz, and Shane Victorino takes the hot seat for the first time on Red Sox Small Talk. Don't miss the encore presentation of NESN Clubhouse tonight after the post-game, presented by Delta Dental of Massachusetts. Hanley Ramirez will star in that show tonight, and the encore is into the shift go the Red Sox on the right side for Matt Joyce. Late change in the lineup for the Angels. Colin Cowgill coming out of the lineup for L.A. and Matt Joyce going in just prior to the ball game and into left field.
Yeah, Red Sox playing Tim Tupul in the infield, obviously with the shift on, and also in the outfield. We see Mookie Betts shaded toward right field.
Boston-based daily fantasy company DraftKings.com, the official daily fantasy partner of your Boston Red Sox, is giving out $300 million in cash prizes. Enter promo code NESN to play for free. In on the hands and popped up back at second base. Bogarts was in the shift, so he'll duck back and put it away. Well, the transaction in the same shot. Jeff Bianchi just getting here to the ballpark, and he said he would be arriving around game time, and there he is, and replacing Shane Victorino on the roster. Shane going on the DL. Jeff Bianchi now active on the Red Sox, playing him in the infield, and as John Farrell said before the game, kind of allows Brock Holt to move to the outfield if need be now.
There's some talk about Jackie Bradley Jr. coming back up, but the fact is John Farrell said they wanted him to stay at AAA to get more at-bats.
Featherton lifts one out to right center field. Castillo ranging over. And Rusney puts it away. Wade Miley has retired the first 9 Angels he's faced. It's 2-0 Boston. Sports membership in Boston as a Red Sox season ticket holder. Email new season tickets at redsox.com or visit redsox.com/season tickets today for more information. Sandy Leon to lead it off here against Hector Santiago. Leon catching the day game, hitting at 152. No homers, 2 runs batted in. Two strikeouts so far for Santiago, both coming in the first inning. And 2 hits off Santiago. They came both in the second inning. Single by Bogaerts and 2-run home run by Mike Napoli, the difference in the game. Last night he homered in the second and sixth innings in last night's win. Now a pop-up by Leon down the first baseline into right, falling fast and running fast is Cole Calhoun, coming in to make that catch basket style for the first out of the third inning.
Yeah, terrific jump by Calhoun out in right field. This is not an easy play at all. There's no clouds up there to help out today. Sunshine, and he's going full speed toward the foul line to make that play. Terrific play by Calhoun. It's tough when you're running that fast and that hard to keep the eyes on the baseball without having them bounce around. And you see the breeze today as it's blowing out a little bit towards center field.
One down here in the third inning for Dustin Pedroia, now second time through from the Red Sox against Santiago. Pedroia struck out swinging. Now a check swing, didn't mean to, and it's fouled back, 1-1. Uh-oh, heads up, Don and Jerry. Who's coming? Oh, the invasion of giant heads. I think we always had them. They're just bigger now.
That's the invasion of the Don and Jerry fan club.
Yes.
300 strong here today at Fenway Park. 300 out of 19,000, Don.
Yeah, they're on Facebook. And this one was Lay's foul. We had the chance to meet with a lot of them during the winter. And an event held, I guess, what was it, November?
Yeah, back in November.
There they are, with T-shirts and all. Glad to have you with us. Those are some good-looking T-shirts, Jerry.
I'd like to thank all those people for some of the well wishes I received while being out. They were very kind, and they're very loyal Red Sox fans.
And they're from all over.
They really are. Yep.
Pedroia batting here with 1 out in the third. And it's on the ground up the middle into center field. A base hit for Dustin Pedroia.
That's a good job by Pedroia right there, because it was a breaking ball and he was out in front of it, but his hands stayed back, and that enabled him to still get some authority on contact. You can see how much in front he is on that front foot, but the hands were able to stay back and punch it right up the middle for the base hit.
One out, one on, and Mookie Betts coming up. That's fly to right in the first inning. 0 for 1 on the day. Came into last night's game in the third inning to pinch hit for Shane Victorino. In fact, it was his first career pinch hitting appearance. And if you just missed it, to Shane Victorino back on the DL again today with a sore left calf. Down the right field line and foul. Today's suits are designed by Joseph Aboud, custom made in the USA from fine Italian fabrics, available at Men's Warehouse. Down and in, 2-1, and an even 50 pitches for Santiago on the day.
Now, one thing the Red Sox have been doing quite a bit of recently is hitting, running, and they've had a couple of them over the last few games. See if they do it here in a 2-1 count.
Seems to make sense, Jerry. Trying to get something going.
Yeah, generate any kind of offense you can.
Change the lineup. Change the approach here a little bit. Certainly after Friday night's loss, things had to change.
Well, we kind of predicted it, didn't we, after Friday night, that there would be some changes. And one of the changes was obviously the call-up of Rusney Castillo. And then we talked about the lineup possibly changing. That has changed. You're trying to stick with it as long as you possibly can, but sometimes you're forced into making moves.
Red Sox winning here last night, of course, and now start the day 3.5 games back of division-leading Tampa Bay. Seems amazing to be 3 games under 500, but still only be 3.5 games back in the American League East. That just doesn't happen. This year it does.
Yeah, that's a reason for optimism. I mean, you know, you've played poorly the first couple of months of the season. You're 3 games under 500, and you look up and you're 3.5 games out. I mean, that's encouragement enough. You know you're going to play better baseball.
Betts will drive this to right field. Cole Calhoun's got room. And he makes the catch as Pedroia bluffed a tag. 2 down in the inning. Well, tomorrow it's the season finale of NESN Next Producer. 4 teams remain in the hunt, but only one will earn the grand prize of $20,000. Find out who earns the title of NESN Next Producer tomorrow at 6. Two outs here in the 3rd inning with Pedroia at first base, held on by Albert Pujols. Hanley Ramirez getting his second look at Hector Santiago. Hanley getting the start in left field and batting 3rd now in the Red Sox order, ahead of David Ortiz. Another shift made last night and remains the same today as the Red Sox deal with yet another lefty. They have seen a plethora of left-handing pitching so far this year and not done particularly well. Good news is you'll face some right-handers when they get to Minnesota. In fact, all 3 will be right-handers.
How about you were throwing out a plethora?
Huh? Yeah.
Wow.
I think it was used correctly in the sentence, too.
Yeah,
I think I did.
really,
yeah, I think
that was really good.
Yeah. Northeastern University. Most of the time they cringe every time I speak. But
you know, you keep throwing out words like that, they're going to start sponsoring them.
Throw to first and back to the bag is Pedroia. Some close games for the Red Sox as well. 7 of Boston's last 10 games have been decided by 1 or 2 runs. We'll check on Pedroia. Lead not terribly large, but Santiago has been worried about him.
Now, 2 outs, you always worry about the guy at first base, especially if he has some speed, thinking he might want to try to get in the scoring position.
Way outside for ball 2. Red Sox ranking 11th in the American League with 4 runs per game. Well, the Red Sox offense has the 2nd highest walk rate and the 2nd lowest strikeout rate. Swing and a miss as Hanley goes chasing after that pitch up and away.
Was a case right there where you're guessing fastball on a 2-1 count, and then for Hanley, no matter where he threw it, he was going to swing.
Lays off as Santiago stayed up there again. Center fielder Mike Trout over towards right center. Somewhat of a gap out there in left center field for Hanley Ramirez. To center, and it turns out to be right at Mike Trout out there. He's positioned perfectly as it works out, and he puts it away. Pedroia left at first through 3, 2-0 Red Sox. Two-0 Red Sox have the lead over the Angels as we head to the top half of the 4th inning. The top of the Angels order: Eric Ibar, Mike Trout, Albert Pujols. Expected to bat in the inning. There's a second look today at Wade Miley. Sprayed foul down the right field line, out of play and into Canvas Alley.
Yeah, Brock Holt very tight at third base, in on the lip of the grass. The bunting ability and the speed of Ibar.
There is a bunt, and Wade Miley nicely changes direction and flips to first base. He was headed off in the other direction initially at the end of his delivery, but he buckles back and gets Ibar.
That's why right-handers try to push the ball towards second base against left-handed pitching, because left-handers fall off toward the third base side. So if they get it by the pitcher, they've got an excellent chance of getting a base hit. But this one not quite far enough, and a nice athletic play there by Miley to spin around, pick up the ball, and underhand it to first base for the out.
One down here in the 4th. Mike Trout. Trout grounding out to Brock Holt at third base, his first time up. Stole a base here the other night as well on Friday night, getting his 8th stolen base of the year. A very nice slide at third base. And it was actually challenged and won by the Angels. Initially was called out. Skies a fly ball down the right field line. Rusney Castillo over to near the warning track. Had to buckle back, battling the sun. 2 down. You deserve a team that works hard every day. At Eastern Bank, our business bankers are here for you days, nights, and doubleheaders. To see why we've been named the #1 SBA lender in New England, visit easternbank.com/smallbiz. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Albert Pujols flied out to center field in the first. Moves his head out of the way of a pitch up and in. On the ground to shortstop. Bogarts. Wade Miley. He's retired the first 12 of the day. 3.5 done, 2-0 Boston. Sharing business tips, stories of inspiration, and other ways to make every day a big day for your small business. Celebrate with us at easternbank.com/smallbiz. David Ortiz leading it off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Big Poppy grounding out to the first baseman Albert Pujols in the 2nd inning. Big shift on here employed by the Angels. David swinging through that pitch down and away. There's the shift as Taylor Featherston moving into shallow right field as part of this shift, a little deeper. Ortiz fouls it back. And it remains 2-2.
Yeah, he's had some pitches, down in the games we've had this week to hit, and he's just fouling them off right now. Now that breaking ball there was a pretty good pitch to hit for Ortiz, but fouled it straight back. Basically working him away, just hold it back. Looked like he wanted to throw a changeup that time, and Ortiz backed out.
Sticking with it. And Ortiz grounds it left side. Frees third baseman at the shortstop spot. Throws out Big Poppy. Send it down to Garrett Austin.
Hey, thanks, Don. As you guys mentioned earlier, it's Autism Awareness Day here at Fenway, and there are a lot of activities and accommodations for families with children with autism. I spoke with Liz Feld from Autism Speaks, and she told me this is a great way for children with autism to enjoy a day at the ballpark. There's a pregame ceremony, a quiet room for kids, and discounted tickets for those families. Don Jerry Feld also told me that the Red Sox organization has been leading the way in raising awareness for autism.
All right, Austin, thank you very much. Great to see a lot of those kids out here today and on the field as part of a pregame ceremony. Autism Speaks and raising autism awareness. It's amazing that it affects 1 in 68 children, including 1 in 42 boys. And there's a fly ball shallow center, falling fast and in for a hit. Xander Bogaerts has got a 1-out single, and he is 2 for 2. Major League Baseball, a big part of it. All 30 Major League Baseball clubs will once again conduct a league-wide effort during this season to raise awareness for autism, the fastest growing serious developmental disorder. And some facts about it. Of course, Fenway participated in the Light It Up Blue on World Autism Awareness Day, April the 2nd. More information, autismspeaks.org. 1 out, 1 on. Mike Napoli, a 2-run home run in the second inning. Mike Trout backed up in center field, and he's over towards right center. Kind of in the general direction where that ball went on the home run by Napoli.
That's pretty much the same defense we see just about every club play against Napoli.
Wild swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Rusney Castillo waiting on deck with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Ball and 2 strikes to Mike Napoli. Long pause by Santiago and time call, holding the baseball a long time. Now finally the 1-2 pitch. We'll have to wait and check it first again. Bogaerts back.
Looks like that's what Santiago wanted to do last time, but the Bogaerts didn't have a real big lead.
Napoli thought about it, able to hold back. Very difficult to do if you're Mike Napoli with that big swing. Ortiz grounded out to short. Bogaerts with a single to center. 1 out, 1 on. And a 2-2 pitch coming here to Mike Napoli. And a swing and a miss. Strikes him out on a pitch down in the zone. 3rd strikeout for Santiago. 2 down.
It looked to be a slide to me from Santiago that time, going down and in around the ankles of Mike Napoli. Had the inside part of the strike zone, but to see the rotation, either a cutter or a slide at that time from Santiago.
So 2 down, Rusney Castillo grounded out to shortstop, and Eric Ibar in the 2nd inning. Bogaerts takes off, Castillo swings, and it's a fly ball to right field. Cole Calhoun battling the sun will make the catch that ends the 4th inning. Played 4 from Fenway. Red Sox enjoy a 2-0 lead on this beautiful day. Cole Calhoun, David Freese, Chris Iannetta here in the 5th inning. 12 up, 12 down here against Wade Miley so far in the day. 4 ground ball outs for Miley. And 8 fly ball outs so far. Has not struck anybody out. Ball and a strike to Cole Calhoun, who the first time up flied out to Hanley Ramirez in left field. Now a fly ball to center at Mookie Betts for the first out of the 5th inning.
Don, let's go back to last inning, and we saw Bogaerts take off at first base. And the reason he's taking off, they want him in scoring position for Castillo, but Castillo swings the first pitch. That really does no good. You know, if you're looking at the signs and you see the steal sign or the green light sign, you want to give that guy at first base at least a strike to work with and let him try to get in a scoring position. So, you know, even though it was a pretty good jump by Bogaerts, who's trying to get in a scoring position, it was ruined by Castillo swinging at the first pitch.
Would you say that we are seeing kind of a raw Rusney Castillo here so far?
A couple of things that we've seen over the last couple of days, you know, not going up to home plate and telling a guy to slide and some stuff like that right there. But
kind of learning as he goes here at the major league level. The 2-1 is fouled off to the right up to the upper deck. David Freese lined out to Rusney Castillo in right field in the 2nd inning. Good contact, but right in the neighborhood of Castillo. Now ground ball up the middle that Bogaerts ranges to his left. Throws out Freese, 2 down in the 5th inning. Well, check out the new family 4-packs for Red Sox games June 1st through June 3rd. As part of this special offer, you get 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, and 4 sodas for just $75. RedSox.com/family 4-packs to buy your tickets today. A glorious afternoon from Fenway Park. 2 outs here in the 5th, and Chris Iannetta.
Man, you're just dropping him out there today.
Had a day off.
Wow.
Lots of stuff to get out now. Iannetta tardy, 1-1. He popped out to Pedroia in the 2nd inning. Breakdown of pitches per inning by Wade Miley. Extremely economical so far in this outing. Blames himself for that last delivery. Now trails in the count 3-1. 3rd 3-ball count for Wade Miley. And he walks Chris Iannetta, first batter to reach here today for the Angels. A 2-out walk in the 5th inning. Breaks up a string of 14 in a row retired by Wade Miley. Stanley, the official tools of the Boston Red Sox when you demand performance and action on the job site. First base runner of the game for the Angels. And a swing and a foul that takes the mask off of Sandy Leon.
Right to the right side of the mask and just drops behind him. I think he made the catch on it.
Give him a little extra time here as John Hirschbeck brings the baseball out slowly to Wade Miley. I wonder what hurts more, when it whips your mask off like that, hitting the side, or the dead flush foul tip.
Well, I mean, it's never happened to me, Don, but I would have to guess the dead flush. I mean, that's going to knock your head straight back.
Yeah. '50th pitch now for Wade Miley. With 2 down, a runner at first.
The truck has come up with a very good idea for you next spring training.
What is that?
Well, you know, this year how you were playing the outfield.
Yes.
Next year we can put the catcher's gear on you, and we can just have the pitching machine
I think that's
shoot pitches off your face.
I think that is a really, really bad idea. I think playing left field this year was really a really bad idea during spring training, as it turned out.
No, that was a bad idea.
I hurt myself. I did a face plant.
So, I mean, you could answer your own question if you did that.
Yes, I guess I could, but I'd rather ask somebody else who actually catches. Swing and a miss. And that is a strikeout according to Leon anyway, but apparently he got a piece. Leon thought he did not. So another chance here for C.J. Cron.
If he hit it, he probably hit it on the bounce.
Jumping out there was Sandy Leon to apply the tag. 1-2 pitch. And he gets hit with the pitch. So another base runner here for the Angels. Thrown down to first base.
Well, Miley wants to see if that was a swing.
So does John Farrell, who pops out of the dugout.
Ooh. No, not quite. Started in that direction, but the contact, I think, when it hit him, just stopped him.
So they're going to check this out, or at least get together. Call for the other umpires to join in the conversation.
My initial reaction is I don't think it was a swing, because he started to swing. But then when the ball made contact with him, it looked like the swing stopped.
Why would the home plate umpire check with the second base umpire first?
Yeah, that's a curious. Are they saying that maybe the ball hit the bat first?
Now the home plate umpire, John Hirschbeck, who is the crew chief, has called out Mike Scioscia.
Does that make any sense, Don? The knob of the bat?
Yeah.
Is it possible that it hit the knob of the bat first?
That could be the argument. Did appear to hit his hand, though, from what we have seen. And they are going to go check this out.
Super slow motion. Let's take a look.
I think backhand.
Yeah, I think it got the hand also.
Right hand.
That really slowed it down. We got a pretty good look at it right there. There was no swing.
I just think it is odd that they have taken the second base umpire as part of this ruling. Generally, it is the crew chief and the umpire who made the call. If it was the swing they were disputing, I'm going to check with James Hoy. So hit batter remains the same. Actually, it is a foul ball is what they're calling it now, Jerry. So they reviewed whether he was hit or not, or whether it hit the bat, and they think that it hit the bat.
Yeah, got the knob of the bat, so that was our second guess. Our first guess was a swing, which it was definitely not. And then when we slowed it down in super slow motion, it did appear that it got a piece of the bat. So bat first, hand second.
So tough luck here for C.J. Cron. Back in the box with a count of 1-2. And a pop-up foul off to the right out of play. Line to left, and there's the first hit of the day for the Angels. Up to second base goes Iannetta. So how about that? Goes from being a hit batter to getting the first hit of the day for Los Angeles. And it comes after 4 2/3 of no-hit pitching today by Wade Miley.
As a slider down, too, and pretty good hitting by Crone right there. Here's the breaking ball. If you can see from Miley, it stays down in the zone, but it does get quite a bit of the plate. And he's able to rifle that ball into left field for the base hit.
So now the tying runs on base, and Matt Joyce jumping on that first pitch and fouling it back. Joyce's first time up, flied out to the center fielder Mookie Betts. Red Sox stacking it up on the right side here on a shift. With only Brock Holt left on the left side of the infield. Rounder foul. Almost hit him, but he fouls it off. On the ground down the first baseline, fair ball. Miley was late to get over, but he'll get there and goes into a tumble after he tags the bag ahead of the runner. And Joyce is saying he beat it, or that he was obstructed. I'm not sure which. But Miley fell as he hit the bag. And we'll see if the Angels are going to do anything about this as Scioscia comes out. So one of two things here. Either he felt like he beat it or he was obstructed when he reached the bag.
Let's take one more look at it. The great play at first base by Napoli, ranging to his left, and then Miley tripping. It looked like he tripped over the first base bag. He's got the ball. Does he have the bag? Yes, he does. And that's going to be an out.
Red Sox have a 2-0 lead halfway through this one. Two nothing. Red Sox have the lead over the Angels as we venture into the bottom of the fifth inning. And a pitch in the dirt here to Brock Holt to fly out to the left fielder. Matt Joyce back in the second inning. Holt, Leon, and Pedroia expected here in the bottom of the fifth. We'll get the official word on that review. After reviewing all relevant angles, play at the plate in which Cron thought his hands had been hit. Replay official could not definitively determine that the ball struck the batter's hands, and the call stood as a foul ball.
You got a pipeline right to the yard?
Yes. Yeah, directly. They actually, yes, they email all the broadcasters. You should have it on your email.
I don't think I do.
No? This is out to right center field, and it is going to get down to the triangle. Jumps up into the seats, a ground rule double. That's too bad for Brock Holt. That bangs around down there a little while. He might have himself a triple, but works out to be a double.
One thing, I mean, on contact, you knew it was going to be extra bases, and I'm thinking 3, maybe 4 as it goes to the 420. But the ball's going to bounce up into the stands, and it's just going to be the ground rule double. But this ball hit very, very well by Holt. Gets a fastball and drives it out toward the Red Sox bullpen. There's the bouncing up into the stands. If that ball rattles around the 420, anything goes after that.
There is Sandy Leon with a runner at second base. Leon fly to right, and now showing bunt, pulls it back and takes a ball.
Pujols back deep at first base, and David Freese, the third baseman, about even with the bag. This is where you want to drop that ball down the first base side.
Back to the pitcher, though, instead, and Santiago took a look at third, but goes to first. And Brock Holt to third base. Sacrifice will go 1-3.
Well, not exactly perfect position for the bunt, but effective. You know, by the time that Santiago fielded this back to him, he took a peek toward third base and realized it was going to be too close over there, so he got the sure route at first. Angels now will pull the infield in with the 1 out in the inning.
Third sacrifice this year for Sandy Leon. There's Brock Holt at third base, and here's Dustin Pedroia trying to add to this Red Sox lead. He will take a high strike. Fouled off to the right, down 0-2. He's driven in 5 of 6 runners from third with less than 2 outs. As Brock Holt 90 feet away, 1 down here in the 5th. Line to center. Mike Trout is there to make the catch. Tagging at third is Holt. Throw from Trout will be late, and the Red Sox take a 3-0 lead. Dustin Pedroia, the sac fly, 3-0 Boston.
Well, the little things paying off for the Red Sox in this inning. The sacrifice after the leadoff double by Brock Holt gets the man to third base, and then Pedroia doing his job. Now, when you're up in that situation, you're looking for something up in the zone, something you can lift to the outfield, and that's exactly what Pedroia does. Good strong throw by Trout, but not in time to get Brock Holt.
So 2 down, bases empty, and now Mookie Betts has put the ball in the air twice in this game, both times to right. And 0 for 2. Cole Calhoun, both occasions up to the task out there in right field. Took some off and gets it in there for a strike. 1-2. Breaking ball.
Curveball that time. Yeah, not too many of those from Santiago today. Mostly sliders and fastballs.
Toyo Tires, the official tire of the Boston Red Sox. Whether you're taking your truck off-road, the kids to practice, or your sports car to its limits, there's a Toyo Tire for you. Visit toyotires.com to find a dealer near you. Next pitch will be the 90th for Hector Santiago, working here with 2 outs in the 5th inning. Popped up down the first baseline and foul ground. Pujols will over the shoulder make the catch basket style to end the inning. Made a new friend there as a catch there by Betts, or retires Betts by Pujols to end the inning. Back at Fenway Park, where the Red Sox on top of the Angels 3-0 now, adding a run. And Congressman Seth Moulton joining us in the booth as we move along here to the 6th inning. Congressman, great to see you. Thanks for coming up.
Hey, thanks for having me.
We're here to talk a little bit about the home base program, which is certainly near and dear to the Red Sox Foundation's heart. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, it's a fantastic program, and the home base program is really dealing with the invisible wounds of war. And I'll tell you, as a veteran myself, I have an awful lot of fellow veterans who come back. They make it home, but their struggle is not over. And conditions like post-traumatic stress, traumatic brain injury, they're entirely treatable. We can take care of them, but we need to make sure we do so that veterans can come back and serve again and participate in life back here at home, as so many of them want to do.
And their families as well. I'm sure it also affects.
It absolutely takes a terrible toll on families, and I see it every day. My second platoon, we have a Facebook group, and we talk literally every day. And it seems like at least once or twice a week there's someone who's struggling with something, and we all sort of try to pitch in to help. But we've lost 2 Marines since we've been back, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen again for other veterans.
I was reading before we learned you were coming on about the suicide rate is fairly high.
It's terribly high, 22 a day. And the home base program and the Red Sox Foundation are really trying to fix that. And we got a great run coming up, July 25th, a run to home base. You can find details at runtohomebase.org. I'm going to be here. I think Congressman Kennedy's going to be here. There are going to be a lot of folks out to raise money for the program. Home base really wants to become the center of excellence for the entire nation here in 2015.
And it really has. I mean, it's grown so much over the last couple of years. It has been kind of the model for the rest of the country.
No, it really hasn't. Look, we need it because the VA's not doing its job. I get my health care from the VA. I made that commitment when I went to Congress to continue getting my health care from the VA. And I'll tell you, it's not good enough. Our veterans should be getting the best health care in the world, and that's what home base is going to try to deliver.
And Mass General also a part of this?
Absolutely. It's based at Mass General Hospital, and there's no better place for it to be based.
This is line to center field, out of the reach of Xander Bogaerts, and Eric Ibar as the second Angels hit of the day. We're visiting with Congressman Seth Moulton, who is with us, and some of the other things that fans should know about coming up here for the home base run to walk program?
Well, there are 500 slots for active duty military, and we haven't filled all those yet. So we're not only looking for fans and supporters of veterans, we're looking for veterans themselves and people who are still on active duty. So I hope people will come out. Once again, you can sign up at runtohomebase.org, and it's going to be a great event. There's 2 events. You can do a 2-mile or a 9K. So whether you're an amateur or a professional, it'll be a good day. And you end right here by the Green Monster in Fenway Park.
$50 registration fee and no fundraising minimum, correct?
That's right. We ask you to raise money. We hope that runners for the 9K can raise $1,000, and for the 2-mile walk, $250. But look, we most importantly want you to show up and help support our vets.
Well, certainly important on this Memorial Day weekend here at Fenway Park. And again, we look for those dates again and how you can get involved.
Memorial Day weekend is really about those who didn't come home. Memorial Day commemorates the veterans who lost their lives so that we can live here in freedom and enjoy a beautiful day at Fenway Park. But a lot of people come out of Memorial Day weekend saying, okay, what can I do? What can I do to carry that legacy forward, to make sure that they didn't make those sacrifices in vain, but we're doing something? And I'll tell you, supporting those vets back here at home is a great way.
This is lined into the left field corner. Over to get it is Ramirez. Ibar going to third base, and Trout. Now Ibar's going to try and score. No throw. He will score. Double for Mike Trout. And Ibar comes all the way around from first base, and the Angels are on the board.
Well, you figured that Mike Trout would be involved somehow in the offense for the Angels, especially when they're scoring a run, and as Trout's a double down that left field line right now, that's going to give the Angels their first run of the ball game. Third base coach waiting a long time. Once he saw Ramirez go deep into that corner, that's when he waves home Ibar, and we've got a 2-run ball game now, 3-1.
And you get Albert Pujols standing at the plate. 0 for 2. He's flied to center, grounded to short. And a pop-up that Napoli will back up with. Sun is going to be a problem, but it is Pedroia over to make the catch, thankfully for Napoli, because he couldn't see it. He battled from the get-go there with the Sun, and it's a good thing Pedroia was there. 2 down.
How long were you overseas for?
Well, I did 4 tours in Iraq with
the
Marine Infantry, so I guess of about 3 years total. And when I got back from that 4th tour, there weren't many of us who'd done 4 tours, but now it's very common. The same vets keep going back again and again, and that's why we really have to make sure we take care of them when they get home.
Now, it is no out of pocket, right, when they go as part of this program. I mean, it's different from the other programs. This is pretty special.
That's right, and it's really important that vets know they can show up and get the care that they need, and not have to worry about potentially the payments or whatnot. I mean, a lot of us veterans, we're still paying our college loans and school loans, things like that. So this is an important part of the program as well.
How do you like political life?
Well, it's different. I don't think it's as good as being a Marine, but I didn't grow up interested in politics. This is totally new to me. I'm really here because of what I saw in Iraq, and feeling like I've got to be a small part of making sure that the mistakes that happened over there don't happen again. There was a young Marine in my platoon once who said, sir, you ought to run for Congress someday so that this stuff doesn't happen again. And I guess I remembered that.
We appreciate your service, all you've done, and all you continue to do. Thank you very much.
Thanks for having me up.
Text 1 for yes. Text 2 for no. Text your answer to 536 536. Message and data rates may apply. One message per vote. Visit NESN.com/terms for terms and conditions and privacy policy. Angels 5.5 games back of the Astros in the American League West to start the day. Angels picking up a run in their half of the 6th inning. It's now 3-1 Boston with Hanley Ramirez leading it off and sending one down the left field line, a foul ball. This is the West situation as it stands today. Astros have really been a pretty big surprise so far in the season. They are 28-16 to begin the year.
It's amazing when you look at Houston. They're last in the league with a .228 batting average. They're pitching very well. They're hitting a lot of home runs.
Santiago shaking off Iannetta a few times. There is action to the pen. Vinny Pastano up in the pen. A 2-pitch outside and a lunge there by Iannetta. Pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. Santiago 5+ innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. Gave up the 2-run home run to Mike Napoli. And walks 3 Ks. Taking a long time here in dealing with Ramirez. He and Iannetta have been going back and forth. Down the right field line towards the pole, and it is a foul ball. So a close one down the left field line foul, and now he goes down the right field line foul.
At most ballparks we go to, you just immediately say foul ball on something like that. But here at Fenway, with that very short foul ball out there, you have to wait a while. Not foul by all that much.
Hanley struck out swinging, fly to center, 0 for 2. Strike 3 call. Hanley knew it. Takes with him the 4th strikeout for Hector Santiago. 1 down.
It's almost like Hanley was looking for something other than the fastball, because it's a very good pitch to hit, a fastball on the inside part of the plate. But Ramirez may have been looking breaking ball right there.
Nick Insurance, great service, great coverage, and a great price for auto, home, or life insurance. 1 down here in the 6th inning brings up Big Papi David Ortiz. Was grounded out twice on the afternoon. Once to first and once to the shortstop, both times into the shift. There is the shift. Strike 2. Borderline strike right there. Bogarts waiting on deck. 1 out here in the Boston 6th inning. Yeah, strike 3. That's not close.
Wow.
Strike 2 wasn't great. Strike 3 was not even close.
No, that I don't blame Ortiz for shaking his head there, because there's 2 of these pitches that just aren't strikes. I mean, I can understand the second one going as a strike, but that one there, I mean, you don't want any part of swinging at that pitch.
Two down here in the 6th, and Xander Bogaerts lifts it down the right field line foul, and that'll make the seats. Xander's singling to left in the second. He singled to center in the fourth. 2 for 2 today. 2 of the 5 Boston hits on the day. And now a 7-game hitting streak. Updated numbers. Hitting at .391. Down the right field line again, and this will stay foul. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information.
That's a large group right there, Don. They've come to Fenway.
This is down the line, a fair ball. Headed towards the corner. Joyce over to dig it out as Bogaerts sails into second base with a stand-up double.
Well, you know, a lot of people found it interesting that Bogaerts was hitting behind Ortiz, but the fact is, Xander Bogaerts is one of the hottest hitters on the Red Sox right now, and that's why he's put him behind David Ortiz. Let's take a look at the 3 hits today for Xander back in the second inning. Pulling the ball, line drive over the shortstop's head. In the 4th inning, pulling the center field that's got a bloop in front of Mike Trout. And now the double going right down the third base line. So 3 very good swings for Xander Bogaerts this afternoon.
They're not going to deal with Mike Napoli with first base open. They're going to intentionally walk Napoli. Respect from Mike Scioscia, former manager of Mike Napoli's. So the intentional walk complete, down to first for Napoli. They'll deal with Rusney Castillo instead. For every Red Sox hit in May, Echo Store Technologies will donate $50 to the Greg Hill Foundation. Echo Store and the Greg Hill Foundation responding immediately to improve the lives of local families touched by tragedy. To learn more, visit echostore.com. Echo Store Technologies, your data center solutions provider. Red Sox with 2 on and 2 down. A chance here for Rusney Castillo to add to the Red Sox lead. Rusney today has grounded to short and fly to right. Bogaerts at second, Napoli at first. Grounded foul, evens up at 1-1. Santiago 108, about to reach his season high once again, and his average. Vinny Pistano ready in the pen. Throw to first and a pickoff play there, and out! Picked off is Napoli. Fell asleep over there at first base, and a play there in the works by the Angels that works. Pujols able to apply the tag and end this inning. first inning.
Well, you know, it's always a dangerous play when you have a left-handed pitcher on the mound. Now, the sign can come either from the first baseman or the catcher on that. And you could see Napoli looking towards second base. You really got to focus on the pitcher because it's mostly left-handers that will do that. Right-handers is difficult because they've got to spin and throw to first base. Lefties, it's right there in front of them. They can see it. And that really takes the Red Sox right out of a possible inning that was had a couple of men on base.
In tight here to Cole Calhoun.
My guess is that
David Freese.
My guess is that was just put on between the first baseman and the pitcher.
Diving at second as Pedroia gets up. The throw is in time.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful play by Pedroia, and you know it's not only getting to the ball, but watch him spin to make the throw to first base. He spins around toward right field and still has enough to get Freese at first base. What a play.
Now one down here in the seventh inning, and a great play by Dustin Pedroia turned in again. There is Chris Iannetta. He'll take it down and in. Iannetta has popped out to second and walked. Three runs, 6 hits, no errors for Boston. A run, 3 hits, no errors for LA. Iannetta on the ground, diving at third is Brock Holt. Some defense turned into this inning by the Red Sox.
Yeah, show me some leather. You got guys in the infield diving all over the place. Pedroia first. Now Brock Holt going into the dive. And no panic when he gets up. He still has time to make that crow hop step in the throw to first base. Miley loves this kind of stuff.
2 down in the seventh inning, 4 in a row. Retired now as a pitch in there for strike one to C.J. Cron. 1 for 2, a single in the fifth. One of the 3 hits the Angels had. A liner foul. CVS Pharmacy is proud to support the American Lung Association's Lung Force campaign to make lung cancer a public health priority. From May 3rd to the 30th, you can make a donation to support lung cancer research at the register. There is strike 3 and the end of the inning. Second strikeout for Wade Miley. So the Red Sox have a 3-1 lead here over the Angels at the end of 6.5. And the Red Sox holding on to that 2-run advantage here at 7th inning stretch from Fenway Park. And on this Memorial Day weekend, we'll keep it right here for God Bless America from Fenway.
And now, before Josh Cantor leads us in the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the Fenway organ, we ask you to please rise. Here to perform God Bless America is a special guest who represents all of the courageous siblings of those with autism. Singing for her older brother Ryan, please welcome a freshman at Saushine Valley Technical High School, Marisa Kearney.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
The Angels first 6 innings giving up 3 earned runs, including the 2-run home run by Mike Napoli, his 8th of the year. Big day so far for Xander Bogaerts, 3 for 3. And Wade Miley, very good pitching today, 7 innings, giving up 1 run. As we get ready for the bottom of the 7th inning back at Fenway Park. And honor our heroes on this Memorial Day weekend from Fenway. Red Sox heading to Minnesota after the ball game today. Play day baseball tomorrow against the Twins. Hope you'll be along with us for the first of 3 in that series against Minnesota. Rusney Castillo leads it off in the home half of the 7th, 0 for 2. He was batting when Napoli was picked off at first base. And Santiago with his 109th pitch. A new season high here with 110, and that's in there for a strike. In there for strike 2. Manny Pastano been warming up last inning, very much ready should they choose to go in his direction. Popped up down the right field line, long run for Cole Calhoun. It's falling, and it is falling foul. Wow, there's virtually no foul ground down there, but it found it.
It's so dangerous for right fielders too, because that wall catches up to you in a hurry. And you can see right there Calhoun going into the slide. Basically no foul territory down there at all.
Found its way over there, and a foul ball. Rusney Castillo has another chance here with the count of 2-2. There's the bottom third of the Red Sox order. Castillo, Holt, then Leon. And a foul off to the right. Up off the facade and back down again. Facade.
Can you spell all these words you're saying today?
F-A-C-A-D-E, maybe.
Very good. What about plethora?
P-L-E-T-H-O-R-A. Huh?
Really?
Plethora. Yeah. 115 today for Santiago, season high. On the ground, couple of hops to freeze, a big hop at the end, and Castillo's retired for the first out of the 7th inning. Time for a game break brought to you by Jordan's. All right, Tom, thanks very much. Back here at Fenway Park, it is 3-1, Red Sox on top. And Brock Holt taking the high strike call. Brock with a double. His last time up came around to score the Red Sox 3rd run on a sacrifice fly by Dustin Pedroia. So the sac fly for Pedroia, the 2-run home run for Napoli. The 3 runs for the Red Sox today off Hector Santiago. Sandy Leon waiting on deck. Elevated, and Holt chases. Fastball still getting up there for Santiago.
Yeah, still very strong here late in the game in Santiago.
And Holt strikes out. So that is strikeout number 6 for Santiago. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
That's pretty nasty right there. I mean, that pitch is just about unhittable, and it did get a bit of the strike zone. Brock Holt did not think so, but you'll see here on the Amica pit zone how it just barely got a piece of that outside corner, and 9 out of 10 times that's going to go as a strike.
2 down here in the 7th brings up Sandy Leon, who has fly to right. And a sacrifice bunt, which led to the run for the Red Sox in the 5th inning. Popped up foul off to the right. Well, it is a rare sight now to see guys get up to 125, and he is headed upwards to that right now.
That is very rare.
Leon to left and a base hit. Ringing single for Sandy Leon. His first hit of the day. And that will do it for Santiago, as Mike Socha was going to let him face Leon. If he got through it, he got through it, but he doesn't. A base hit by Leon. And that'll wrap up his outing after 6 2/3 innings. The pitching change from Fenway. Center first aid station behind section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. Hector Santiago going 6 2/3 innings and departing, responsible for Sandy Leon at first base with 2 down here in the 7th inning. And new pitcher on here for the Angels. This call to the bullpen is brought to you by Kia. Benny Pastano into the game. 15th appearance for LA. 1-0 with a 4.50 earned run average. 11 strikeouts, 6 walks. As Pedroia takes ball 1. Dustin struck out in the first, singled in the 3rd, and then had a sacrifice fly in the 5th, picking up his 17th RBI of the year. Pedroia thought about it. They'll check. Did he go? No.
Dustin, part of the small ball attack for the Red Sox in the 5th inning when they had the double, a sacrifice, and then Dustin with the sacrifice fly to center field to get the run home.
Manny Pastano worked in last night's game, a 1/3 of an inning, charged with a run. It was unearned. 5 of 6 inherited runners have scored on the road trip against Vinny Pastano. Red Sox have a runner at first that he inherits here in the 7th. And he walks Dustin Pedroia with 2 outs here in the inning. First batter that he faces. Well, don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC, Jim Rice, and Steve Lyons break down today's game, and you'll hear from John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever. Who but WB Mason? Welcome to Fenway Park. All the seniors at Highcliffe in Plymouth, Mass. So 2 on, 2 down, and a visit to the mound here by Chris Iannetta. Right now you can get up to 72 months with no interest on almost anything at Jordan's Furniture. Furnish one room or your entire home, and the best of all, you get to enjoy it right now. See Jordans.com for details. Sandy Leon at second base. Dustin Pedroia at first, 2 down. And Mookie Betts, the recipient of strike 1.
Right-handed crossfire here from Pastano.
Fouled into the catcher's mitt for strike 2.
That gives you a little idea of the reaction time, doesn't it? That shot there, there's not much.
In the air, foul off to the right. Cesar Ramos up in the pen. Former Tampa Bay Ray.
Let's see if you can react to this pitch, if it ever comes.
I'd probably start right around now.
Start your swing right now,
right now, yep. I would be what you would call a guess hitter. Fouled off to the right, out of play. And once I get my swing started, I can't stop. So
you don't check your swing.
No, there's no checking. The 0-2 pitch. And Betts will take it high, 1-2. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Santiago responsible for Leon at second base. 2-2. Vinny Pastano coming over from the Cleveland Indians from Michael Clevenger, right-handed pitcher. Spent his career with the Indians 2010 through last year. Swinging a foul tip held onto by Iannetta as Betts strikes out. That concludes the 7th inning. It's 3-1 Boston. 7-3. It's on to the 8th inning we go. Shifting on the right side of the Red Sox as Matt Joyce leads it off here for the Angels. Joyce 0 for 2 today. Flied out to center, grounded out to first base. Red Sox seeing a lot of Matt Joyce when he was in a Tampa Bay Rays uniform. And he takes the strike. Shinichi Tozawa warming up in the Red Sox pen. As Wade Miley pitches here into the 8th inning and has retired the last 5 Angels that he has faced in the game. Grounded to first base. Napoli down to one knee and then to the bag for the first out of the inning. Wade Miley's pitching line is brought to you by Ace Ticket. 7 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run. That run coming in the 6th inning and an RBI double by Mike Trout. A walk and 2 strikeouts. He began the game by retiring the first 14 Los Angeles Angels. Did not get a hit until there were 2 outs in the 5th inning. Johnny Giavotella pinch hitting here for Featherton, who had been 0 for 2. Former Kansas City Royal. One out here in the inning. Cam Bedrosian up in the pen for the Angels. He was called up prior to today's game for his 2nd stint of the year from AAA Salt Lake. Giavotella now with Ibar waiting on deck. A little bit low. 3-1. Strike 2. 3rd straight very good outing for Wade Miley. One hopper that explodes on Brock Holt and kicks into left field. That ball was drilled at Holt down there at 3rd base, and he is slow to get up here. I don't know if it got him off the arm or where it got him. Chest, maybe?
I couldn't tell exactly. The ball was hit so hard I couldn't tell where it hit him. But he is in pain right now down at 3rd base. Looks like it bounced up and hit him off the arm. Yeah.
That's the last thing the Red Sox need right now is to have him go down. He's been so versatile, filling in for so many, filling in for Pablo Sandoval right now. Brad Pearson, the trainer out there checking on him.
Doesn't help things either when the trainer's out there poking around at the spot that you got hit on. But something they have to do. You see Bianchi in the dugout, who was just called up today, just in case. It looks like Holt wants to stay in.
He wants Bianchi to come in here. John Farrell does. I don't think Brock wants to come out of this game. Yankee with 57 career games at third base, as John Farrell now coming over again.
It's not the throwing hand for Brock Holt. It's the glove side.
So he's going to stay in the game.
This was just an absolute bullet. It bounced up and got him, looked like in the forearm area. So you can see him flexing his fingers there too, trying to get some feeling back in that left arm.
Double-barreled action for the Red Sox. Saw Tazawa earlier. He's now been joined by Tommy Lane. Eric Ibar coming up. Under the stretch goes Wade Miley with Giavitello at first base. One out here in the 8th inning. Eric Ibar singled back in the 6th inning. 1-4-3 game right now for the Angels shortstop. Throw to first and diving back to the bag, Giavitello.
Not a very large lead at all. Certainly Ward has got around on the move from Miley. And that has caused a lot of base runners to reduce their lead by about a step.
It's amazing how many guys are headed back to the bag as he comes home.
Yeah, he's very difficult to pick up.
On the ground to third base. Holt will go to second for one. Ibar is running, and they got him. Runs fairly well, but they turned the double play, so Holt appeared to be all right there as he initiates a double play. 3-1 Red Sox. Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Beautiful day in Boston on this Memorial Day weekend. 3-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Angels. Try to add that lead here. Staying in the game at second base is Giavitello as he took over for Featherton. Pinch hitting for him in the top of the inning. Here is Cam Bedrosian, just called up from AAA Salt Lake before this game. Second stint of the year with the Angels. Third appearance. He's not giving up a run in 3 innings. Hanley Ramirez leads it off and takes ball 1. Henley has struck out, flied out, and struck out again. Now a grounder up the middle. Giovatello's not going to get it. It's into center. Leadoff base hit for Hanley Ramirez. Now it's time out for today's T-Mobile game-changer performance, and some great defense turned in by the Red Sox behind Miley.
It really has been, and it starts with Dustin Pedroia with a terrific play up the middle, spinning toward right field to make the throw. Brock Holt, same inning, diving play at third base to pick up an out, and then Brock Holt starting to double play after getting hit in that throwing a hand. Able to complete the double play, so there's been some terrific defense play behind Miley today.
That is the day for Miley. Ends up with 97 pitches, third straight very good outing. Ortiz takes the strike. He was frustrated last time up, taking strike 3, and the ball did not appear to be a strike. He's also grounded out twice today, so fourth AB today for Ortiz. The closer up in the pen, Koji Uehara. Foul back, 1-2. Bedrosian, no stranger to going up and down for the Angels. This is his second stint this year. Last year, he had 5 separate stints with Los Angeles. 0-1 last year, 6.52 earned run average. He is the son of Steve Bedrosian, won the '87 National League Cy Young Award with the Phillies. Shifting on the right side of the Angels here on David Ortiz, but they keep it tight to the infield. The double play possibilities. That was called a strike last time. It is a full count now. Ramirez takes off. Ortiz hits a fly ball to shallow right. Cole Calhoun was very deep, comes in and over and makes the catch. Takes a look back to the infield, but Ramirez gets back to the bag. 1 down. Boston Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare at southwest.com. Your local Subaru dealers. Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. Your local New England Ford dealers. Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. Thank you, New England, for 60 great years. And by the Kia Sorrento. 1 on, 1 out. Xander Bogaerts taking a pitch outside. Xander's had a 3-for-3 afternoon. Single to left, single to center, and last time up a double to left field down the line. Hanley Ramirez, a leadoff single. First base with 1 out in the inning. Throw to first, and Ramirez back to the bag. Looking ahead to the Angels' 9th inning. At the right part of their order coming up for Los Angeles. Mike Trout, Albert Pujols, Cole Calhoun, the expected trio. Runner goes, and a little hit and run here into right field. That's a 4th hit of the day for Bogaerts as Ramirez keeps on going to third base. And a wild throw back into the infield, and it's 1st and 3rd with 1 out.
That's really the perfect time to put it on. It's a 1-0 count. You know you're going to get a strike, or you're very confident you're going to get a strike. Bogaerts recently has been using the whole field and especially right field, and it works out absolutely perfectly. Bogaerts gets that ball inside, but still puts the hands inside the baseball and gets the barrel of the bat on it to move it to that second base hole. The second base hole was vacant because the second baseman was going because Hanley Ramirez was off.
Runners at the corners, one down. Mike Napoli hit a 2-run home run in the second, struck out in the fourth, and was intentionally walked in the sixth inning. Oh, swinging for the downs there. 86 from Pedrosian and Byam. Napoli fouls it back, and it's 0-2. Let's take a look at the Toyota play of the game, and it was the 2-run home run to center field off the bat of Mike Napoli back in the second inning. 8th home run of the year. RBIs 18 and 19. That's after 2 of them last night. In the dirt outside, blocked that time by Iannetta, saves a run.
Oh, gee, real nice play there by Iannetta going to his ride. The breaking ball will bring it back just a little bit as it hits the dirt, but terrific play. Hit a run.
Really done a nice job defensively in this series.
He really has had a great series behind the plate.
Ramirez at third, Bogaerts at first with 1 out. They'll skip in, 2-2. Eleven games this year for Bedrosian at AAA Salt Lake, was 1-0. Had a save, 3.15 earned run average. 23-year-old right-hander, throws hard. Runner goes at first and then stops. Bogaerts with a start and a stop and a foul off to the right.
That always will pull a player out of position. Watch the second baseman. There's the fake towards second base, and that pulls him completely out of position toward the second base bag.
Very high. Full count to Napoli with Rusney Castillo waiting on deck.
I'd send Bogaerts at first base on this. Even if it's a strikeout, you may get a run on a double steal. Right now, the signs going out to the infields on what Iannetta is going to do with the ball if Bogaerts runs.
And Ramirez at third. Bogaerts cross the diamond at first. Payoff pitch coming to Mike Napoli. There goes Bogaerts. Napoli drives one out towards deep left field. Back goes Joyce onto the warning track. It's going to be off the wall. From third comes Hanley Ramirez. Bogaerts going to try and score. 2 more Boston runs, and it's 5-1 Red Sox, and a big day for Mike Napoli.
Oh, did the Red Sox ever need the injection of Mike Napoli into this offense, and they are getting it. Again, inside, it seems like every time now they come inside to Napoli, they're paying a price for it. Left field wall that time, 2 runs come in. Red Sox able to open it up a little bit here in the bottom of the 8th.
This one back off the pitcher. Bedrosian kicks left side and no play on Castillo as Napoli takes third. Right back at Bedrosian.
And he seems to be okay on the mound. That was a bullet by Rusney Castillo.
They'll come out and check on him here. Mike Scioscia, the Angels trainer.
Looks like it gets him off the bottom part of the body right there, and he really never showed that he was injured at all.
Pinch hitter coming up here for Brock Holt's going to be Pablo Sandoval. So Holt in there for Sandoval, and now Sandoval is going to bat for Holt. Ace Ticket, the official Red Sox ticket partner, has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway. All the 200% guarantee. Right now, Ace Ticket has special savings on all Red Sox games, including the Yankees. Visit Ace Ticket or call 1-800-MySeats. Don Orsillo, Jerry Remy, Garen Austin with you from Fenway Park. Game 3 of the 3-game series. And out to make a change is Mike Scioscia. The runner is at first and third, and so far 2 runs in here for the Red Sox. Pitching change from Fenway, 5-1 Boston.
Yeah, it's a festive atmosphere here at Fenway, led by Walter. This kid's got it going on. Listen, so Kelly's got it going on.
It extends like all the way across the monster seats there.
It's growing.
Pablo Sandoval pinch hitting. So they go to the left-hander, Cesar Ramos, into the game here with runners at first and third and 1 out. And a liner to right field, a base hit for Pablo. In from third comes Napoli. Falling down in between second and third is Rusney Castillo, and they will tag him out. Literally fell down equidistant between second and third. He goes down and is out.
I never had a chance to mention it because he swung at the first pitch, but Sandoval goes into hitting left-handed against a left-handed pitcher. First time we've seen that. And he jumps on the first pitch, lines the fastball into right field for the base hit to drive in a run. This Castillo, he's killing me because he's watching the play instead of looking at the coach. I mean, look at the third base coach and maybe you won't fall. That time he was turning around to watch the play behind him, and he just lost his balance, and down he goes.
So now Jeff Bianchi pitch running at first base for Sandoval. Bianchi called up today with Shane Victorino going on the DL. Aggravating his calf muscle yesterday, left calf. Sandy Leon, the batter, and he takes strike one from Ramos.
You look at today's game, Don, and you think about it. The Red Sox pitched very well, obviously, with Miley. Terrific pitching. They played small ball in this game. They played long ball in this game, and they played great defense in this game.
So what you're saying is that every facet of the game has gone well today for Boston.
Every facet of the game has gone very, very well. We still have to get 3 more outs in the ball game to win it. But, they've done – I like the mixture. The long ball, the power part of the game. I like the hit and runs. I like the sacrifice. I like the, sacrifice fly. I love the defense. Just a nice ball game.
Popped up left side. Ibar will make the catch that ends the inning, but a very productive inning. No longer a save situation. We'll still see Koji. The Northeast. Did you know FWWeb did that? Learn more about this proud Boston Red Sox sponsor at FWWeb.com. 6-1. Red Sox have the lead over the Los Angeles Angels. As in at third base, Jeff Bianchi just called up from Pawtucket today. Pinch ran for Pablo Sandoval. Takes over at third base. Koji Uehara into the game in a non-save situation. 16th appearance. 2-1, a 1.93 ERA. In save opportunities, 10 for 11. And opponent sitting at 149 against Koji. So Mike Trout to lead it off, and some big runs for the Red Sox in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3 of them. Uehara finished last night's game with a scoreless 9th inning. And had a couple walks, only second time in his Red Sox career with 2 walks in a game in 152 appearances, and here he is in another non-save situation. Once John Farrell gets him up, he likes to bring him in. What an outing today by Wade Miley. 8 strong, 97 pitches in his 8 innings of work. Gave up only the 1 run on 4 hits. Retired the first 14 Angels he faced in the game. Bianchi with a nice pick on a hot shot. High throw, but Napoli goes up to get it. Mike Trout is out number 1 of the 9th. Time now to check out the results of today's Dunkin' Donuts poll question. We asked, will the Angels catch the Astros in the American League West? 5.5 game difference between them to start the day. And you said no. 60% saying no.
That's surprising.
There are some Houston Astro believers out there. Albert Pujols, so for 3 today. Was flied out, grounded out, and popped out. Broken bat grounder, foul. Stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live, a Red Sox final presented by Uno's. TC, Jim Rice, Steve Lyons will preview the Sox upcoming 7-game road trip. 3 in Minnesota, 4 in Texas. Swing and a miss. Pujols strikes out, 2 down. To the fastball when Uehara up and away.
Yeah, good spot for Uehara going up and away from Pujols. Not expecting that pitch at all. You can see the catch of Leon coming out of his crouch. He wants that ball elevated. That's exactly where they get it, and they get no contact.
As high as it was, Pujols swung over the top of it. He is out number 2 of the 9th inning and brings up Cole Calhoun. A bounce in for ball 1. Calhoun flying out in the 2nd and 5th innings. Grounded out in the 6th. Two and 0. Strike 1. Well, today the Red Sox faced a left-handed starter, threw 124 pitches and went 6 2/3. It marked the 8th left-handed starting pitcher in the last 13 games the Red Sox have faced.
That's way too many.
They'll face 3 right-handers in the Twins series scheduled over the next few days. Three balls and a strike to Cole Calhoun. 2 down here in the 9th. On the ground, foul, full count. Fenway Park will stand as one with 2 down here in the 9th. Bloop foul off to the left. Will do it again. Calhoun will see his 7th pitch in this at bat. Koji struck him out and the Red Sox win. Boston able to take 2 out of 3 from the Los Angeles Angels And a 1-2-3 ninth inning for Uehara, coming in a non-save situation. But he seals the deal and ends the game as the Red Sox win it 6-1, out hitting the Angels 12-4. Big day for Xander Bogaerts, who ends up with 4 hits. Even bigger day for Mike Napoli, who ends up with a total of 4 RBIs in this game, as Napoli with a big day as well. Red Sox win it 6-1, and now we'll head out on the road as we'll head out to Tom Caron. TC?